Wow. Our first podcast together.
I know.
Is this your first podcast?
First podcast of the year.
Of the year?
Yeah, I haven't
First podcast of the year.
I've not recorded an episode this year, imagine.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. Crazy.
Now discuss
Ngoja.
topic of the day.
Reflecting on 2024
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
the first episode.
planning on the year.
Shuru unakumbuka nini 2024?
Yeah, working.
The view executive kidogo. Fanye kitu 5 minutes.
Kindly.
Please guys. Focused. There's the way.
Slow down the flower. Yes, I can do flower now.
Yeah, quick one. Wow. Can we have an umbrella?
Ni unlikely. I'm at like 100%.
Mic check. This is mic check.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're trying to see if we
Mic check.
1, 2. How this is going to go.
We'll see.
We'll just
It will go the way it goes. Ikikata itakuwa tu kwa diary zetu.
Yeah.
For all we know, we'll have a
We'll bring it back
video
after 5
memory.
years.
Ready.
Okay, turn it this way, like towards Chebet.
Oh, ndio ikuchukue view.
Ichukue view. View ndio
Hapo.
important.
Hapo. We in Limuru, we in Tigoni. First and last episode of 2024.
First and last. Can you imagine?
And first episode of 2025.
Yep. How do you feel about it?
Fantastic. Excited. Thanks, Chep.
What do you see on your
I
background?
feel like a celebrity.
You are. You really are.
There's a lot. There's a beautiful view. There's tea. I saw a cow when I was coming. No cow, no. But beautiful scenery. Actually, this is the land we need to possess.
I know.
Yeah.
True.
Yep.
Can see the city in the horizon. Uko.
Oh yeah, you can see Nairobi.
Yeah,
Wow.
imagine. Can see a bit of the buildings in the back.
Gorgeous. The sun is just about to go
Yeah.
down.
So,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
so
Absolutely love it.
we're about to sit down, have a good conversation. Yeah, we're ready. Dr. Hilda Chebet Kipkemoe is a dedicated medical doctor and clinical researcher with specialized expertise in pediatric rare diseases, particularly sickle cell disease. Currently serving as a sub-investigator and clinical trial coordinator at Gertrude's Children's Hospital in Nairobi, Kenya. Academically, she holds a Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery from the University of Nairobi and is currently pursuing a master's degree in epidemiology from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. Chebet, quick one. So, the Chep Safari podcast, we normally have a segment where we check up on each other and how our safari is. So, if you would kindly describe what your safari currently looks like reflect on how you are and what your life is looking at the moment.
I'm at like 100%. We start this thing on a high.
We do.
Girl.
Yes.
It's been an amazing year. When I look at 2024, getting into 2025, for the first time ever, my vision board is complete. Tick. God has done the thing.
Every single thing
Thing on the board is done.
Wow.
What can I say?
Take us through.
God has done the thing.
Yeah.
Like in every single thing has been fulfilled.
What are your general categories?
Categories, relationship-wise, my marriage is thriving. Career is thriving.
Yes.
Spiritually, we are growing. My baby is growing. Everything is just amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Wonderful. I think you had a travel thing on the board as well.
Travel. We have traveled.
Yeah.
This year, we have seen the world.
The boxes.
We have ticked every single box, and not even just the small boxes, even the big boxes in traveling. It has been curated travel.
Wow.
It has been not economy, business travel.
Wow.
It's been good.
Girl.
It's been good.
I'm going to need to add that to my 2025.
The surplus. The surplus, the overflow.
Yes.
It's been amazing.
Yes.
Glory
to God. Quick one.
This rain wants to finish us.
This is going to be a 5-minute podcast episode. Quick one. Looking into 2025, we're thinking about planning the year, planning the new year, our future. I have this particular episode is highlighting doing things with God.
Yes.
So doing things this time with God. So take us through what we need to look into 2025 and what we can and how we can plan our 2025, considering what you've been reflecting on from 2024, where you had a vision board, you placed it before God, your boxes were ticked.
Yes.
So let's plan 2025 this time with God. Take us through. How does that look like?
For me, I think at the beginning of 2024, I had a very clear plan. I had a very clear goal. I had asked God for very specific things. And He has granted each and every one of them, such that in 2025, I have it's a blank canvas.
You don't know what to ask God for anymore.
I don't know what to ask for because I'm going into a new place, a new dispensation, a new grace, and it's a new land that He has given us. And so I'm not able to even like enunciate the specific things I want on my vision board. As I look at it, it's blank. It's just blank. It's clear. I'm giving God the pen to write because He has shown me that it can be exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or imagine. And right now, all I'm asking for is grace, favor, and wisdom.
Wow.
So I have nothing on my vision board at the moment, but I know once I get to the place that He's taking us and that He has gone ahead and shown us where to go, I'm sure that I will know what to do at that point. But the biggest thing about 2025 and doing it with God is that I am so excited because I fully trust in His goodness over me. I fully trust in His plans over me. And that is what has made me so excited for 2025. I don't think I've had, before we had this, before 2024 began, I had never actually done a vision board. Before, we used to do the New Year's resolutions, but I used to feel like I'd write them just because,
just because it's a tradition.
Yeah, just because it's a tradition, we have to. And so we're just doing it because, but I have come to learn the beauty in putting down on paper and committing it to God and trusting that it will happen. And I have seen that, and God has seen His promises to me through and through. And so even as I begin 2025, I'm really excited to see what plans He has for me as we go along. For me, it's a faith step. It's like I'm taking the next step. I don't know where the next one is. I can't see it, but I'm taking it regardless. He says go, I'm going, and that's where I'm at. That's where my headspace is at, and I feel very safe in His arms. Very safe.
Wow. So it's fair to say you're completely trusting God for 2025?
Completely.
You don't know what it's going to look like?
I have no clue.
You have no desire to know?
I don't have any desire to know. At this point,
He has proven Himself?
He has proven Himself, and I am not even anxious to know what's next. As far as I know, He's got it.
Can I probe you a little bit? And could you talk a little bit about this new land you're going into? Because I think it will explain a little bit about I'm excited and sad at the same time. Sad because she's leaving.
I'm leaving.
I know. Tell us a little bit about your new land.
Well,
and I think it'll help us understand generally the magnitude of trust that you're placing on God.
Yes. So guys, we are leaving. It's time to try out new things. We are moving, and I'm going with we means me, my husband, and my baby. We're leaving. It's time to move on to the next country God has for us in a series of many other countries, I believe. And we're leaving for Australia.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I have a sister now in Aussie. Who I can say, can I pass by?
Come. I have a room for you.
You do?
I do. in my mansion.
In your mansion. You don't know how it looks like. You don't want to know, but you know.
But I know.
You have room.
I just know I have room.
Wow.
There's room.
There's a lot of significance in this discussion.
Yes.
About creating room for God, believing in our what He has for us this coming year.
And honestly, this move is not even just about me and my family. It's more about every single person that comes after, because the idea was to open up a path that enabled the entire generation after us to prosper. So it was actually opening up a path for everyone that comes behind us
you.
and everyone that comes after us. And so this journey has not been easy. Anyone who knows translating, or rather converting your medical license into a license for another country is one of the most difficult things you can do. And so it's just been a trust journey. it's been a complete faith, that journey, to the extent that by the time I was completing the entire process, looked for a job, got a job interview, and the moment I did this job interview and I committed that specific one to God, because it was in the specific place that I wanted. And interestingly enough, it was a place that would have had us probably have like 2 years experience elsewhere before coming, but God opened that direct path
just for you to get in.
Just for me to get in.
Wow.
The Lord did it.
Talk to us about the experience of application to changing a medical license to this new country.
What it entails and everything. So let me begin the process. So the process, you first begin by having your medical degree verified. Now this is specific to the country you're going. I'll speak to Australia. You have to begin by verifying your medical degree, and so that there's so much nitty-gritty. I don't know how deep to go in, but I'll just go on the surface. So you verify your medical degree. Once it's verified and you've done your degree from a recognized university, you're now allowed to book the exam. You book the exam. If you're in Kenya, you either do it from South Africa or India. Once you do your exam, you wait a month. Your results come out in a month. The longest month ever. But once you do the exam, you're eligible to apply for jobs. So it has two parts, part 1 and part 2. But for Australia, once you've done your part 1, you're allowed to work. They give you something known as limited registration. And so you will be next, you do your English exam. You curate your CV, ensure that your CV is it's understandable by the Australian guys. Because you realize we speak Kenyan English. And so you have to switch a whole mindset. Mind change. And so once you have your CV, hakuna Spanglish. Proper English. No Kenyanese. That was something I had to realize, and I had.
So you're in the process. You're learning a different culture.
I'm learning a different culture. I'm learning how to speak during interviews. Actually, had a lot of help from someone who was able to actually read through my documents and be like, correct this, correct that. Guidance is important. Otherwise, you'll be groping in the dark. So I had a lot of help in that sense from someone who's very experienced. She's been there for years, and so that was a huge plus. Once I was able to get all my documents together, I started applying for jobs. The job application process took about 4 to 5 months. It's very difficult. You have to push through. Let me tell you, I have a folder for rejections in my Gmail because you get rejections. Because it's also not easy to hire someone from offshore for them. You really have to prove yourself for them to actually give you a job that gives you a visa that sponsors you to go with your family. So you really have to be really good. You have to really have polished up your talk, your interview process. Everything has to be really good. It's something you really have to work for and
so you're
practice.
Putting in effort.
You put in effort. You put in the work. You practice how to speak. You practice what to say. The process requires full-on commitment and not giving up. Because you can imagine when you're doing something for so long and you're not seeing visible results, it's taking months, it's dragging on a bit, but you trust in God because God told you to go this way. You stick to that path. You know, I got to the point where I was wondering at month 4, actually at month 4, just before I got the job, I even applied to a Kenyan job, and guess what?
You got it?
No, let me tell you, I asked God, remove all confusion. Look at me. I'm telling God, remove confusion. But I'm applying to a Kenyan job and an Australian job.
You're doubling into the confusion.
What did God do? I got a rejection from the Kenyan one. And that is how I knew when I was telling God to remove all forms of confusion and just make things very clear. He did. And so the miraculous thing about this is from the point of getting the job offer to getting our visas, 3 weeks. Unheard of. It only took 3 weeks. God really did the thing. He showed up. And
what if you gave up? Can you imagine if you gave up? 4 months, 5 months?
It would be another story.
Compare that to the 3 weeks.
You know,
happening.
When you decide to commit to a certain thing, you need to see it to the end. And when you see it to the end, it means you have to take everything. You have to take the rejections. You have to take the delays. But you still have to stay trusting in God.
The promise that He gave you.
Trust in the promise that God gave you. Every single day I'd open my laptop, see my vision board, and I'm like reminded that God is doing something. He's working. You know, even when we don't see things in the physical realm, something is happening in the spiritual realm. I remember just before we got this job offer, I spoke to a friend of mine and she was asking me, has it come through? Has it come through? I'm like, no. She's like, we need to pray against the spirit of delay. And the next week we decided to do a prayer and fasting. So we started praying and fasting on Monday. By Friday I had my job offer. Who is God?
That's a story
There are
we need to
things
get
that
into.
cannot
Yeah.
come until you
You
pray,
pray
and
and
fast.
fast. Yeah.
And so
such things, scripture says, such
Yeah.
things can only go by prayer and fasting.
and fasting, kabisa. And
That
I truly
really,
believe
yeah.
that, to someone else who's looking from outside and does not know God, you might not be able. Everything might look like a coincidence.
Yeah.
It might look like serendipity.
Yeah.
But we who know God,
We who know
we know
the
that
holder.
God was in the detail.
Yeah.
God was in the detail.
Yeah.
He has actually come through in such a mighty way.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for the next year.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
Looking forward to what 2025
We're actually going to do another
We're doing a recap
podcast,
at the
even
end
if you're
of
gonna
2025,
do.
God willing.
Yes, God willing.
See what it is we have discussed today.
Yes.
We're going into 2025 with prayer, asking God to show us the guide, what plan He has for our life moving
Yes.
forward. Then trusting that which He gives us through our prayer, through our daily life with Him. And with the trust, we live and take a day at a time. Yeah. As I was sharing with you earlier, my 2025 also, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I know I need to look inward a lot.
Yeah.
That's all I know about 2025. And I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's trust in
gonna
the
be
Lord.
amazing.
Let's trust in the Lord.
It's going to be
and see.
amazing.
Trust
God has got us.
He's got us.
Yeah.
We're putting our plans before Him, our
Yes.
dreams, our hopes. He knows. One thing you told me so many years ago is God knows up until your littlest desire.
Yes.
So even if we can't articulate our
He
desires
knows.
at the moment, He knows what
Yes.
our desires are.
Yes.
And we're hoping that as we go into 2025, those desires will be fulfilled and we can be able to trace back and be like, oh
Yes.
yeah, God, I see you doing your thing.
Thank you, girl.
Love you so much. Praising and trusting God for your new journey ahead. Conquer this new land. And yeah. The rain is chasing us away, but we've had a good time.
We're going to have another one.
next time.
Soonest. Bye.
Happy Texture
Wait. Yo. Somebody needs to put on the circle.